Hello, everyone. It's Final Fantasy VIII, the debate. Yeah, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. So this has been a little bit of a an interesting experience, shall I say? So I was blissfully going through the wonderful world of Final Fantasy VIII and absolutely thoroughly enjoying it. And I was helping my mum move some stuff into a new house with my brother-in-law. And I happened to mention that I was in the middle of doing Final Fantasy VIII, and he said, "Oh, Final Fantasy VIII. I absolutely hate that game." And it was like, I was like, okay, that kind of threw me a little bit. And I said during the video that Final Fantasy VIII is definitely the Marmite one of the group of Final Fantasy games. And when I posted it on Reddit, and I'll read the response that I got from one of the people there. I do not think the game is divisive at all. It's well loved with a Metascore of 90, the PlayStation version at least. It also said, don't get me wrong, there are people that don't like the game, some because it wasn't Final Fantasy VII Part 2, the others because they didn't understand the gameplay. So, with that, we move over to Gareth for his thoughts on Final Fantasy VIII.
Well, unlike Marmite, I like Marmite. This wasn't Marmite for me. What a bad game. Brilliant intro, and then you're in a hospital bed. Is it a hospital bed? Are you in a college? I've no idea. Nothing happened for 5 minutes. Graphically, it's far superior to Final Fantasy VII. I've nothing else to say good about the game.
So you like the graphics, sound wise.
It had sound. I'll be honest with you. I was too busy getting angry at the faults I thought the game had, which are many and numerous. I will happily talk about them as you go through the topics.
Well, it's like I said, it's a difficult one for me. What were your thoughts on the characters and how they came across?
Right, let's begin then, shall we? You start out. I didn't know what I was doing. Some bird spoke to me. I didn't know what she was talking about. We went off. We did some fighting. She interrupted numerous times to give me instructions as to how to fight. The first one was, "Oh, great, the fighting tutorial. I'll learn everything I need to know." No, because she told me about a third of what I needed to know, and then we carried on, and then she told me another third of what I needed to know, and then later on another third what I needed to know while in battle. So I didn't take any of it in because I was in a battle. The next character you meet flexes on you with some karate type moves, so he's a dick. But at least he then offered to shake the main character's hand, and the main character refused to shake his hand, which again is a dick move. So then we're fighting, and another bird turned up in a very short skirt, which is inappropriate for fighting in a war, and she was a dick as well. And then they just none of them were very nice. They just appeared to be arrogant dicks. So that's the characters.
Like real life, then.
Yeah, no, every now and then you meet someone in real life that's all right. I'll be honest with you, what really annoyed me at the very beginning was this bird takes you through the tutorials, but you're at an academy. Why couldn't they incorporate the tutorials into the academy so at least it made sense in a story perspective? Other than, I don't know, at one point she was going, "Oh, this is a water character. You can use Blizzard on it." And I'm going, "Have I got Blizzard? No." "Oh, to find out what the character's weakness is, use Sense on it." "Have I got Sense?" No. It was just, that's not character-based. That's just bad gameplay device. They just kept telling me stuff I could do that I couldn't do, and then by the time I needed to know how to do what I'd done, I couldn't remember it because it was back then. Oh, such a bad game. I've got so many.
But just like going to school, though, they teach you that stuff. You're like, when am I ever going to use this? And later on in life, you go, "Oh, I learned this in school. Don't remember it."
Well, no. If they'd have taught me it in the school, I'd have probably remembered it. Trying to teach me it while I'm in battle.
Learning on the job.
I suppose you make a fair point, to be fair. You would have thought if he's walking out of the door to go and do his first trial, then he probably should know everything that He needs to by that point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what has he been learning for however many years he's been in the university?
It's what is the point of setting it at the College of Warcraft or whatever it was if they don't actually teach you? Oh, we're just going to go and have a battle. I'll teach you while we're actually live fighting creatures that can kill you.
But then I suppose that does make it very, very much like real life. It's sort of like you go to school, you learn about Pythagoras' theorem and 1066 and all that kind of thing, and then you leave school and people give you credit cards.
It is true. Why couldn't they have done that though? If you're in an academy, do it in game. Teach me at the academy and then send me on a mission. I didn't understand that. That was like 10 minutes in.
I didn't even get as far as you, Gareth, and I did play an hour, and I did mean to keep going back to it. I just really struggled to. The game actually crashed an hour in after I was in that game, and in that cave where she was like, trying to talk you through stuff, which I did find really clunky. Though the good points are that it graphically is better than Final Fantasy VII. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's it, because I'd much rather go back to Final Fantasy VII. Is it the remastered version you showed me?
It is the remastered version, yeah.
And I'd still happily go back to that, being graphically inferior, and give that another bash, because the storyline was really good. It brings you into it. I'd even argue that Final Fantasy VII just chucks you into the battle. All right, what do I do? But at least it was like intuitive. I got really confused. I'm glad it's not just me, Gareth. Oh, do this with one of them. Do I have one of them? No. Oh, so I can't even practice. Okay.
What I think with most of the Final Fantasies up to and including 7, they always had a history of lobbing into a battle very quickly, which probably sped up the pace of the opening parts of the game. Particularly if you look at 1 through 3, you literally start in a battle, one of which I think you actually die. You all get wiped out during the battle, so it kind of keeps that pace going. 8 does take a while to get going, but what I found out as it evolved and moved forward, did you do the first mission with the massive mechanical spider, Gary?
Don't go there.
So you didn't even like that bit?
Well, I had an issue with that because we went off. Again, I've got anecdotes for days. I only played the game for 3 hours. Anecdotes for days. We went off. We fought a few guards to get into the middle of the town, and then whoever was the leader went, "Oh, you better stay here and make sure there's no more guards." And I'm thinking, "Oh, well, I'm going to have a few battles." There was only one bloody guard, so I killed him. And then he went, "Oh, I'm going to not follow rules now. Let's go to the communication tower." We went there. For no reason I could work out, we got attacked by a big dinosaur thing at the top. It was just like, oh, there's a shadow being seen at the top of the communications tower. So I had a fight with that, beat that, second go, admittedly. And then it was like, oh, we'll all go down and back to base. And then you have to fight with a big mechanical bloody crab thing. But this is the issue I have with the big mechanical crab thing.
Yeah.
You fight it to a point, and then it says, run away, run away. Yeah. You run away, then you have to fight it again to a certain point, and then it says, run away, run away. You have to fight it again later, run away, run away. Why couldn't I just fight it to the death the first time if I'm going to have to fight it again 3 more times? And then at the end of the battle, you don't even get the satisfaction of killing it because it's a cutscene where the bird on the boat shoots it. So it just annoyed me.
It's a chase sequence, isn't it? I mean, it'd be like Indiana Jones if the rock fell off the side straight away. It like came towards you and then fell off the side. You wouldn't have that whole running away from the scary object. I mean, to
be honest, I would run away from Dwayne Johnson if he was coming towards me.
Yes, good point. I have no issue with running away. If I would have then got to fight it and beat it at the end and had a moment of satisfaction, that would have been fine. But you don't. You just fight it, run away, fight it, run away, fight it, run away, and it gets killed in a cutscene. And also, you get no XP for that battle.
Well,
so what is the point?
You can beat it. You just need to know the technique for beating it.
I was probably told the technique for beating it in the same way I was told I had to wear a uniform for bloody doing the exam, which took me 45 minutes, and then I had to text you and go, "How do I take the exam, John? I've been literally 45 minutes of talking to the same people, getting the same responses, and then just go, I don't know, there's no journal. I got lost within the first hour. No way of knowing, because I missed a text, not a text, but a little box with words in, 2 of the words in blue saying wear uniform.
But it doesn't tell you how to beat it. But then I quite like that, because I'm quite sick of games sort of like holding your hand through the whole experience. You know, I want to have a little bit of a little bit of difficulty with what I'm doing.
The thing is, it wasn't difficult. It was just annoying. The whole game was just annoying. It was just like, let me fight it, let me kill it, let me get some XP, let's move on. But it wasn't. It was just, it was a grind. I've got another anecdote after that, because I even carried on playing after that annoyance.
Well, go for it. That's the train section, I'm presuming.
Oh no, I didn't even get that far.
No?
It was when I got back to the academy, and I thought, right, I'll save. There's a save point. You walk up to the save point, the camera angle changes, and there's a cutscene. And I'm thinking, right, I'll just walk past it, out of the cutscene. There's a save point. I'll walk back to it. I'm back in the cutscene. No save point. I'll walk past it, see if I can get it the other way. No, there's a save point. Walk into it. There's a cutscene. So I'm just why? Just let me save and then play the cutscene. And also cutscenes. Why have they got a save point, then a really long cutscene you can't skip before the first boss on the communications tower? That annoyed me. It was just like, I died the first time, and I'm like, I've got to watch the 3-minute cutscene. Have the save point after the cutscene. This is basic gameplay. Oh, I didn't enjoy it, John. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Oh dear. Well, I suppose it, like I say, the experience of everyone in this is the total representation of what it was like back in 1999. It created a lot of anger, and still has a lot of fans. So
Don't know why.
It just goes to show now that, well, I'm a big fan. I honestly think that once this experience is over, I genuinely think I'll go back to it and I'll probably beat it.
So have you completed this game?
I've played 15 hours of it, so I had to stop because I've got to start looking at Final Fantasy IX.
So you've never completed this in 1999?
I only ever played the demo in 1999. I never had the full game. So, but I remembered really, really enjoying the demo, and I still really, really enjoyed the game. Not that I didn't enjoy Final Fantasy VII by any stretch of the imagination, but for me, I just thought in terms of battle mechanics and visuals and storyline, I massively preferred 8 to 7, and you guys massively prefer 7 to 8, and it just goes to show the years may roll past, but nothing changes very much.
No, I'll give it some credit. The battle mechanics are far superior to Final Fantasy VII. The problem is the way they're introduced to you just is so clunky. They're just so, like I said, just have at the beginning, you're in an academy. Just let me just go, this is literally how you do it. It was because you've got your Guardian Force, which you can then link to your powers, so you can get extra sort of bonuses through that. But it's so badly explained that, like I said, my longer playthrough was my second playthrough, and I only just about discovered how to do the battle. The fact you've got to steal magic before you can use magic, which I'm sure that was explained to me, but I was probably fighting a fire demon at the time without Blizzard because I didn't have it.
Well, then I think with the game there's an awful lot of I agree with you on how the battle system is explained, because I think it actually makes it more difficult and almost a little bit intimidating when you're reading it the first time, thinking I'm never going to remember all of this. But I think it rewards experimentation. So taking the mechanical spider as an example of that, to beat it, what you've got to do is you've got to when you fight Biggs and Wedge, you have to draw the double spell out of one of them, which allows you to cast Thunder twice, and then basically once you're able to do that, you have to fight the spider 5 times, and then you basically thunder it to death. And that's how you win. You're only going to do that by grit and experimentation.
Or
and if
looking at a walkthrough, I think more likely. I got to the point of learning Thunder damaged it the most.
Yes.
But then, like I said, I had a small moment of satisfaction because I'd worked out that was doing far more damage than anything else. So I'm thinking, right, when we're on the beach, I'll hit it with Thunder. And then it's like, no, cutscene, we'll kill it in a cutscene. You're going to get no enjoyment from this death. It was just... So I think it's a weird one. I think it's possibly a good game wrapped up in a very bad first 3 hours.
I could understand that. I could understand why you. I think I think I like the slower, more grindy paced RPGs anyway. So I think that's maybe why it appeals to me. I think if you want to be, chucked straight into the action, which a lot of people do, it probably isn't for those people.
I don't even think it's that. I just think the first couple of hours and the way the mechanics are introduced is just poor. I think I'd prefer to be chucked into it and then do a bit and then have a proper... Don't teach me how to fight while I'm fighting. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's literally teach me how to use these things and I might enjoy it. But yeah, there were some weird choices.
I know we're talking about 8. But I have played some of 9 because it was on Xbox Games Pass. I'd say it's more like 7, even graphically. I'm so surprised this is 8. And then we go to 9 where the graphics are not the same at all.
Yeah.
And if you put a gun to head and said you've got to play a Final Fantasy game, it would either be 7 or 9. I'm not going to go back to 8. Where 9, I want to go back to. It doesn't really drop you straight into the action. There's a lot of running around, and like you said, Gareth, like when something doesn't reward you with XP, that's gutted when you spend a lot of time. Where actually 9, it might not do that, but the storyline's strong enough that I kind of want to see where it was going. But I don't think I can bring myself to pick up a controller and play 8 again.
You say that, and I probably shouldn't be dropping spoilers for 9 before the review. But with 9 so far, and I am only 3 hours in, so I'm not in any position to really know what I'm talking about. So far with 9, the battle system is actually less complex than 7, which pushes it into the button bashing territory. So at least with 8, with the battle system being the way it is, it forces you to experiment and learn and think. Whereas I don't, like I say, I'm not 100% certain with 9, but my experience with it so far is I don't think I'm going to have to put a lot of brain power into whatever it is that I'm fighting. So, but we shall see. We shall see.
I can sum up 8 in one encounter I had
God.
Early in the game. I'm running around trying to work out why I can't take the exam because I don't know I need to wear a uniform. I meet a man who's willing to sell me a pack of cards. Apparently playing cards is a big part of this game. So I think, yeah, go for that. I bought a pack of cards and then went, do you want to play cards? And he went, no, I don't play cards. So you've got a man, you've got a character that sells cards that doesn't actually play the game of cards or teach you how to play the game. That, to me, summed it up. It's just everything in the first 3 hours I played was just clunky and didn't make sense. Like I said, I'm sure it's a good game, but it introduces itself so poorly that I don't ever want to go near it again. Unless you can do a save file and I'll jump in 15 hours in.
And I will, and I'm looking forward to going back to it. So, like I said, Final Fantasy VIII. Some things don't change. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Looking forward to delving into Final Fantasy IX a little bit more. But for now, I think that pretty much wraps up the debate. So we will catch you again the next time. Please like, share, subscribe, yada yada yada. Pop your memories.
Buy the t-shirt.
Yes, pop your memories of Final Fantasy VIII in the comment sections. Have a go at it. Which one of us is wrong? Let us know. Ta-ta for now. Ta-da.
Bye.
John's wrong.
Yeah, so well.